What is up, guys? Welcome Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. What's going on, bullish? What's going on, old? Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a great beginning of your week. Flips in the house. What's going on, bro? Welcome, guys. Well, let's just jump right into this. So right now, as of last night, guys, wow, Bitcoin honestly went on a beautiful run. Today, almost topping, I think she was up almost 5% at the top here, running up to about 61,360. I really did think that we were going to be running up to this next resistance line, but you can see we did break below right before there. Didn't hit our head on there just as of now. You can see as of the last hour, we're starting to get that volatility that we were talking about, right? We saw this massive run up as of earlier today. We saw a beautiful run up. I mean, we went all the way down from 58.9 all the way up to about 61.3 and some change, but going on an epic run here. What's that telling us? Honestly, that's telling me that Bitcoin right now, the markets are preparing themselves for a possible run tomorrow. Obviously, if you've been living under a rock, we have the FOMC meeting tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is going to be a big day, guys. Like we always say, for every FOMC meeting, big day ahead of us. This one's probably the biggest that we've seen, just because for the last 2 years we've been waiting for this day tomorrow, right? For the Feds to start reducing rates. But is it going to be what we're expecting, right? Is it going to be that massive run that we're thinking? If you can tell by the thumbnail, I necessarily don't think it's going to be what everyone's expecting, right? And we're going to cover that here in a second. But for right now, Bitcoin, we saw this big run up to around 61.3, like I've said 5 times already. We did come back down to around that 59,650, and it looks like from there we're having somewhat of a V-shaped recovery. This white line is indicating the 50-day moving average. Obviously, we are on a zoomed-in chart at around the 5-minute, but you can see it looks like that 50-day on the 5-minute chart right now is going to be giving us a little bit of resistance as we go through for right now. What am I expecting for tomorrow for Bitcoin? Well, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, right? I am thinking that we are, as of tonight, going into tomorrow, especially tomorrow. The FOMC meeting, I believe, is going to be around 2:30 tomorrow. Wait, let me zoom out real quick and let's find out. I believe they're normally around, let's see here. Yeah, I think it's going to be around 2:30 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, right? So with that being said, expect volatility tonight going in tomorrow, guys. It is going to be, as you can see the thumbnail, a roller coaster ride, right? We are going to be going up. We are going to be going down, kind of like what we've seen in the last few days. But I think for the most part, we're probably going to continue this upward movement, right? We've been talking about this for the last week. Been pretty much just saying that, with everything that we have building up towards this FOMC meeting, 2 years of this, I think for the majority, we're going to probably continue to see us move up with some movements here and there, retracements, right? Typical Bitcoin pattern. But I'm thinking that tomorrow, after the words are out of his mouth, right, depending on how he words everything, I'm thinking that we're going to probably see the markets at least do an initial run. But don't get confused or don't get, psyched out when you see the markets possibly going down after some of the things he says, right? I'm expecting the unexpected. I'm not doing any leverage trading tomorrow because it's going to be very unpredictable for the most part. Unless we see a massive drop tonight, I might open up a long, right? Because I do think initially we are going to see a nice little run. Is it going to be short-lived? Possibly, right? With the crypto markets, especially crypto we have a terrible thing with buying the rumor and sell the news, right? Yes, it happens on the stock market as well, but with crypto, it is the worst, right? Whenever we're anticipating a big, update for Ethereum or a big update for whatever's going on or whatever the case is, you see that beautiful run up, and then the day before, just like the halving, right? You see right before, people start taking profits, right? And it's just we just can't have anything nice around here, right? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I guess the main thing out of all that word salad is volatility, right? Volatility, I'm expecting it tonight, tomorrow. We've seen it today. It's going to get probably even worse. It's almost like we're going into a hurricane, right? And as of tonight and tomorrow, it's probably we're going to be seeing the brunt of it all. So, but I think once the storm clears, the smoke clears, we're going to probably be on our path towards the upside. Is this going to be that leg that we need, right? Is this going to be that pump that we need for us to finally start going up on that last leg up that we've been talking about? I hope so. I hope so, guys. So welcome, guys. That was the beginning monologue. Rodney's in the house. What's going on, brother? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Looking at the bubbles for today. Damn, the bubbles look great. Look absolutely fantastic. Alts are doing pretty damn good today. Alts are doing fantastic. The only, I see helium's down slightly. ICP's kind of stagnant, down 0.6%, but geez. Sui's up 13%. We have Bit Sensor up like crazy. What is this? Immutable? Phantom? We were just talking about Phantom yesterday. Injective up 9-10%. The alts look absolutely amazing today, honestly. I didn't even realize that. I didn't check the bubbles until now. They look pretty good. Looking at the watch list, let me see if my face is in the middle of this watch list here. Hold on. Move up here. Looking at our watch list, you can see majority of the market, same thing as the bubbles. Everything still is in the green. Ladies is up 8%. Solana kind of stagnant at around 0.7%. Not really too much movement. You know, it's crazy because you would expect Solana to be running a lot better than it is right now, given that Bitcoin just a few hours ago was up over 5%. Let's see here. Nothing too crazy. Jasmy's up 3%. Myro not doing too bad, up almost 8%. Fetch AI is up 8%. So the markets are looking great. XRP, not really doing much. I thought I saw something else. I thought XRP was up 15%, but it's only 0.15%. But all in all, we're not looking bad, guys. The actual stock market didn't do too bad either. Closed in the green for today. Nothing too crazy with the stock market. The VIX actually is up as well. The dollar's up slightly, but also the NASDAQ and the S&P were kind of stagnant today. Gold today, looking like it went down. Nothing too crazy, but 0.5%. Was that the top for gold? Possibly. I know all my gold people have been like, oh, gold, I told you, gold. And I'm like, bro, I told you guys the story. Someone was telling me to buy gold a few days ago. I'm like, why would you tell people that? They're like, cause gold's doing great. I'm like, yeah, I'm not denying that gold's not doing great, but that's like me telling you to buy in on Bitcoin when it's at $80,000, right? At all-time highs. Like, yeah, you know, I'm sure hopefully it'll continue to run, but you're talking about all-time highs. The odds of it coming down are a lot higher than the odds of it continuing to pump. You're right, if that makes any sense. So don't be that guy. Don't be telling people to buy in on Bitcoin when it's at 75 plus $1,000. Jay, what's going on, bro? What is going on, dude? Guess what, guys? Today, I bought in on call. I picked up some call today. Finally started my bag up. Started picking up some calls. Like, you know what? I was like, it's down. You know what? I'm going to grab some. Picked up a light little bag. I don't even remember. I think it was like 20 billion. Nothing too crazy. It's absolutely crazy how much 20 billion costs when there was a point of time when I had 700 billion call. And I remember I spent like maybe $400 on it. Something like that. Like it was like, it's just crazy. I was expecting to pick up like, you know, a big bag, and you know, because I only had so much crow. And I go and do the swap, and I'm like, that's all I get? I'm like, damn, I didn't realize, like, even though call is down right now, I mean, the market cap's at 26, almost 27 million. When I was buying in on call, when it first dropped, it was at $400,000 market cap, you know? So, I mean, now that I'm buying back in, I'm just like, holy crap, like, you got to spend some bread if you want. I couldn't even, I mean, 700 billion is probably a freaking bag. Let me do the math on that real quick. Oh, 20. I already have it on here. 700 billion right now would be $24,000. That's crazy. I definitely did not sell for 24K. I sold for a good penny, but it was not $24,000. And that's right now. Imagine if I would have held up to the top. I was telling, we did a stream, back when all this was going on. I was like, bro, that was an $80,000 move that I potentially, messed up on because I sold too early. Someone in the comment was like, bro, 700 billion's not 800 or 80K. I'm like, bro, what are you doing the math? It is. It's probably even more than that at some point. Regardless, if it's 70, 80, 50, it doesn't matter, right? It's still some bread. Like I said, I made a pretty penny off of it, but it wasn't what, when you look back at it, you're like, damn, 80K? That was a move. We actually called that out. I know all you guys already know, but we called that out in the Discord the day it dropped. I actually stumbled across it and posted it in the Discord, and I know a lot of people made some good money that were in our Discord, so shout out to everybody in the Discord. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Let's see here. Let's check that fear and greed index. 34. Still sitting in that fear. Still sitting in that fear. Honestly, we can sit in it for right now. I want to continue to accumulate some of these projects that I felt like I messed out on or I don't have enough. So you know what? Let all those people stay scared, right? Scared money don't make any money. If you know that saying, and you got to risk it for the biscuit, right? So for these people that are scared, good. We appreciate that because we will continue to accumulate, and you know what? They will come chasing and jumping into the bag when we are running. So it is what it is. Speaking of Solana, like I was talking about earlier, Solana has not done anything today, guys. What is going on with Solana? Solana 132, not really making any big moves. Bitcoin up right now, currently 3.6%, and Solana's up 0.7%. Even Ethereum is up 2.5%. What the hell is going on with Solana? Another project right now that's doing pretty good. Milady. Milady jumped up this morning. Look at this beautiful green candle that it formed. Let's zoom in real quick. I know I'm all over the place with these charts. Sorry. You guys can see it was almost like a W pattern that formed, and Milady went on a nice run as of last night. Early this morning, you can see she ran up roughly about 13.5%, which was a beautiful move. She's technically up almost 7% for right now after a small retracement, but looking fantastic. This is what I always tell you guys. These small cap projects, yes, they are risky, and they're going to be a little bit more volatile, but when the going's good, you're going to move fast. You're going to move faster than probably most of the projects. Right, and that's the same thing for Myro. Myro right now doing pretty much the same thing. You guys know I've been buying in on Myro, and you can see from this beautiful V-shaped recovery, Myro's up not as much as Milady was previously, but you can see Myro technically right now is up 11% from this bottom that we just had was at as of last night. You can see 11% right now. She's holding more better gains at around 8, almost 8.5%. So another small cap meme coin that I said, guys, regardless of if it's Milady or Myro or Win or some of these other small caps, that I feel like are under the radar, when the going's good, you're going to see money flowing back into these projects, right? You're going to see money flowing back into these meme coins, particularly. Meme coins are always going to be the ones that get hit first, right? And they're usually going to be the ones that are lagging behind Bitcoin and the bigger, safer projects when they start rallying. But boy, it's like someone turns on that light switch and it's like everybody starts flowing right back into the meme coins, and you'll start seeing meme coins just running 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% in days, right? And weeks, hundreds of percent. And this is obviously when the markets are getting back up to being, confident. Right now, we're technically not in those areas. That's why I say, even right now, where Milady's at, where Myro's at, not financial advice, but you're still getting these bargain prices because these market caps on some of these particular projects, let's pull up Myro particularly. I believe we're at what? I'm going to let it set in real quick because sometimes it'll fluctuate. But it looks like around $63 million as of right now. Bro, $63 million. That's a freaking bargain right there. That is a bargain. Milady. Hold on here. What's going on? Milady. Let's see here. Around $62 million for right now. So, I mean, you can see that's why. I was like, what is going on? I swear. That keeps popping up. $60 million for Milady. 60 million. So, still a market cap right there. Small micro. Bro, you guys excited for tomorrow? We won't be live streaming tomorrow the FOMC meeting because I think I am going to be on the road when that occurs around 2:30. But we will be here right after the fact. I'm probably going to get some tea, something. We're going to be going crazy tomorrow, whether it's up or it's down. Let's do a poll real quick. What do you guys think tomorrow? FOMC meeting, we going up or we going down? Old said have safe travels, Crip. Oh, I'm not traveling anywhere, brother. I just mean like I probably will be driving. My daughter gets out of school around that time and stuff, so that's usually why I can't stream the like the 2:30 meetings. Unless you guys want me to stream while I'm driving in the car, right? But I don't think I'd be any much use. What do you guys think, though, for tomorrow? We going up or we going down, right? Let's look at this. So considering that the market right now, and this hasn't really changed, I think we're pretty much locked in, right? We've seen massive fluctuation in between the quarter and the half, right? Basically, you go back last week up until a few days ago, majority of the market was calling for some kind of a quarter percent or 0.25 reduction in interest rates. Well, now since yesterday, things have shifted, and now we're over towards majority of the market, 65% are calling for some kind of a 0.5% or maybe even more aggressive at around 0.75, right? And you can see that around 35% now are calling for some kind of a quarter, maybe possibly some kind of a 0.5% reduction in interest rates. I told you guys that I've been in the camp of, around that 0.25%. And the reason is because I feel like, and I said this yesterday, I'm going to be like a broken record until tomorrow, but I feel like the Feds, if they were to go a little less aggressive, right, I think they would not spook the market, because I truly do believe if the Feds come out with a 0.5 or even a freaking 0.75%, I think they're going to scare the living crap out of the market, right? And they've done this before. I think they did this back in 2008. I was watching a documentary last night trying to gather, similar instances that have happened, right, with the Feds, with their interest rates and stuff like that. And I think back in 2008, somewhere around that time, the Feds, because we had gone into a recession, the Feds went crazy and started reducing interest rates very aggressively, right? Trying to come back down to that zero spot. Well, what happened? It scared the living shit out of the market, and there was a massive sell-off. The markets weren't doing great. It was already setting up for a massive sell-off, but that was basically the nail in the coffin for the big sell-off, scaring the shit out of the markets, right? And I'm not saying that we're anywhere near 2008, right? We're nowhere near there, but we could see something similar like that happen if the Feds go too aggressive, right? What's too aggressive? Is 0.5 too aggressive? In my opinion, I feel like 0.5, just because we have been waiting and hearing about a 0.25% for so long, for the last 8 months, that now that this 0.5%, this all started whenever we got the last unemployment numbers, not the one that we just got, but the one right before that, about a month and a half ago, when unemployment ran up to about 4.3%, right? When we saw that, that's when you heard the talk. You kind of saw the jittering in the Feds, right, in regards to a possible more aggressive stance on reducing interest rates. That right there is a recipe to start scaring investors, right? And when that happens, I'm telling you guys, Maybe not you and I, because we're just like, well, isn't this good? We're talking about the big money, the big money that don't have, they can't lose, right? They have billions and billions of dollars in these markets, and they want to be ahead of the curve, right? So they don't want to be selling after retail sales. They want to sell before and actually scare the shit out of retail and have retail sell as well, right? And when you see something like this, a more aggressive stance in the Feds, that's the money that we're looking at, saying and wondering, are they going to get spooked out? Are they going to start selling off? Because you know how it goes, guys. It's like a domino effect. You start seeing, the big whales start selling off. It starts to scare the market, right? And it's basically a cascade event where you're just seeing massive sell-offs. I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that if the Feds pull something fast on us, like a curveball, and unfortunately that curveball would be them going too aggressive too quick. I keep telling you guys, I think and this is just me, a YouTuber on YouTube, right? Jerome, I know you're listening. If we just go at that 0.25% for the next 3 meetings, I think that would be such a more just kind of a calm, but also, effective way to reduce interest rates, in my opinion. So right now, looking at the poll, looks like we have 83% of the chat saying that we're going to be going up. 17% are saying that we're going to be heading down. It's like I just put because I just went and I said that we're going to go up, right? Because that's what I want to see, right? We all want to see us move up. I'm still kind of on that fence. Like if you were asking me, I'm kind of like 20-80, maybe 30-70, thinking that we're going to go up, slightly thinking that what if, right? That what if the whole market's expecting this, and what if this happens, kind of thing. So obviously we're going to have to wait till tomorrow and find out what's going on. But I think majority of the market right now is kind of on the same page where, we don't want to see too an aggressive Fed, but we also want to see, us just start reducing interest rates. It's got to happen, right? It's got to happen. We got to get this economy back up and running as far as people buying houses and everything else. Cars. You don't realize when the Feds started increasing rates, when people are going out for loans and stuff like that, it's rough right now. It really is. Ricky said he's about to. He said that we're going to blast through 63K. Is my guess. Let's see. So what I would predict, right, is that tonight, tomorrow, we see a little bit more volatility, right? Kind of like what we saw after we ran up to about 61.3. We saw this red candle pretty much come and bounce somewhere around this 59.6 area. I'm thinking that we're going to probably most likely come back and retest this 59.6, maybe briefly break below, right? Going into tonight, tomorrow, possibly, right? We could see the market start rallying. We could see the market start rallying. I'm just anticipating, like I've been telling you guys for the last few days, the uncertainty, right? How I'm talking to you guys and I'm uncertain, right? A lot of investors are feeling that way. And what's the worst thing for the market? It's uncertainty. That's the worst for the market. Whenever the markets or investors are uncertain, they usually are like, they're going to jump out of the market, at least sit on the sideline if it's for the next day or two, right? So what I'm thinking is that we might see a little bit of a move towards the downside. Hopefully this 59.6 area holds, but if we do break below there, it'll probably be somewhere around that area, right? And as we get closer into the FOMC meeting, we're probably going to see some dramatic ups and downs, right? Ups and downs moving around. I don't think we break above 61.6 necessarily. Like I said, we could easily start going on a rally pre FOMC meeting, but I'm thinking that we're going to probably hover around this channel. And then as the meeting starts, depending on the wordage, right? Jerome Powell comes out and he's like, all right, so that leads me today. We are announcing that finally we are going to be reducing interest rates 0.5%, 0.5 basis points. What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking off the initial run, we see the markets run up, right? We see the markets run up. Maybe we run past that 62, 62.6. I think Ricky said we're blasting past 63. Well, in this scenario, we would probably break above 63, but most likely hit our head somewhere around 63.4, somewhere around here. That's going to be our next spot for some resistance. Now, if we are going absolutely parabolic for whatever reason, the market is just like, finally, this is it. We could see us, right? You saw what happened this morning, how Bitcoin Bitcoin went on a run this morning. Look at this green candle that we have, right? This green candle right here, we haven't seen a candle that big. Honestly, we saw a nice move. This was just a few days ago, kind of on the same run, right? But we really haven't seen a candle, a green candle that size. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. It's been probably going back to mid-August since we've seen something like that. That's usually indications that we have some bullishness ahead of us, right? I know we have retraced somewhat, but that's just because of the uncertainty, right? So we could see some more God candles pop up, and we could blast right by some of these areas that we think we're going to have as some resistance. We could easily fly right by. Which one is it going to be? Who knows? But I will tell you guys this, that if tomorrow, coming back being bullish, right? If tomorrow we see some of these God candles and if we break above this 64.9 right here, that right there is going to be a pivotal spot, because think about that. We get up to this 64.9, we are literally 6% away from our previous all-time high, which was at 69,000. Guys, we would not be far away from getting right back up to where we pretty much were at during our parabolic months just a few months ago, right? Around that 70K mark. We're not far from there, guys. We really aren't. Even where we're at right now, we technically are not far, right? If you really think about it, we're about 14% away from that previous all-time high. That's not our all-time high. This is the previous one from 2021, right? I always tell you guys that we have still, to this day, even though we broke above it a few times, we have never actually held support above our previous high at 69, and we're still standing on the same thing. If and whenever we do find that support and 69 becomes the bottom, right? That's when we're going to see that $100,000 Bitcoin around the corner, guys. So, Gina, what's going on? I'm still anticipating a dump, but not yet. You can probably expect some news event to mess with the markets when we finally start feeling happy with ourselves. What are you expecting? Like the Bitcoin starts running and then something comes out? Something like feds come after Bitcoin or something? Troy said NFK to the moon. If you guys are new here, I feel like I don't talk about NFK much as of right now. That's our native token. We definitely have a big community. Check it out on Solana, NFK, $NFK, or you can literally go on the deck screener and just type in, search no FUD, and it'll pop up no FUD koala. We are seeing a little bit of some downward movement for today. We're down about 9%, but it looked like we had some, we had a wallet that had been basically just selling off like every 30 minutes. So good riddance, bud. Hope you kick rocks. And I hope that those projects you jump in on, I hope they bring you big wealth, all right? Just kidding. Now, like I said, we want to see this. We want to get all those people that have been kind of just waiting for us to kind of take off. I mean, obviously, I want everybody to eat with us, right? But at the same time, if they're being impatient, let them sell off now, because that's less money we have to split up when we run up to 10, 20, 30, $40 billion market cap. So, but no hard feelings, right? What pisses me off with some of these people is when they sell like every 30 minutes, right? I'm watching his wallet and it's like, bro, just sell off and just move on, right? Just sell off and move on, dude. Checking something real. Let's check out the poll real quick. So now that we let some people, do the votes, you guys can see we're pretty much on a mixed breed right now for tomorrow's FOMC meeting. We're at 57% are calling for that we're going to be moving up, and we have 43% that I tip my hat to the 43%, right? Because you guys are thinking you're thinking against the tide, right? And that's what I'm trying to kind of bring today, is that we're trying to think against the tide Obviously, we want to see the market. Well, majority of us want to see the markets run up. Some of us that have dry powder on the side are like, no, I want to see this thing drop. I want to get some positions in. But, I'm kind of like both, right? I'm actually got a little bit more into the market than I was just like a week or two ago. So I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So either way, I'm happy. But I'd like to see the markets get some good movement towards the upside. I think we need this for our confidence in the market, right? And I tip my hat to the 43% that are basically going against the grain there and saying, listen, I think we're going to be heading down actually. Everybody's expecting up. I'm going to say that we're most likely going to be heading down. And I respect that. I respect that. But the reason why, I really would love, and this is just me, why I would love to see this market move up is just because, this fear and greed index, whether you like it or not, and this is a good time, historically speaking, if you buy in fear, usually plays out really well, right? Usually plays out really well, but I feel like we have been kind of hovering around this area for the last few months. We definitely need some, upward movement in the market. We need to see that confidence kind of come back in, or things could start turning for the worse where people are just like, I'm staying away from crypto, right? So that's why I want to see some upward movement. We need to see some solid movement too, not just a blimp up to 70K and then right back down. We need to see us at least move up 67, 68K and stay around those areas for a little while. We need to build that confidence up. Troy said, just gave me a chance to buy more. Exactly, bro. Exactly. I'm right there with you, bro. And especially another thing too, Troy, is, and I don't just say this, but whenever we run up as far as Solana, as soon as Solana starts running up in the market, NFK is going to blast. Right? It's going to blast off. I know you're like, well, we've been saying this for the last 2 months. Bro, we've been down for the last 2 months, right? Think about it. You go back a few months ago when we were running up here at some of these big spots that we were running up on, Solana was at $170, $180, $200. Bro, Solana's at what right now? 130? We just came off of Solana coming down from 120, right? So Solana's dropped down 40% in the last few months, right? So our project is going to get hit with it, right? Because we're 100%, market cap, everything, liquidity, everything's in Solana, right? So unless we start getting some big whales dropping, some big money into the project, we're going to be at the whim of Solana right now. So, but when we start running up, and I mean Solana starts running up, it's not going to take much for us to really start rebounding and getting back up to these, these levels that we're used to being at for no FUD. And anybody that's accumulating at these lower levels, obviously, you're going to have a solid bag. Gina thinks we're going to move up first and then we're going to move down. I see what you're doing there, Gina. She's kind of playing both. She's like, well, yeah, we're going to move up, but we're also going to move down, right? So tomorrow she can say, see, I told you guys. I told you, up and down. Let's jump into, not that one real quick. Let's get into the Fed rate cut may boost Bitcoin and crypto, but watch for short-term dips. So let's see here. So I'm just going to fly through this real fast because I know some of you guys are bored with it. The Federal Reserve is expected to cut rates by 25 to 50 basis points on September the 18th, which is tomorrow. The rate cut could boon for crypto markets in the long term, analysts said. The swing in odds for the 50 basis point cut shows a maximum uncertainty in Fed policy, one analyst says. So the U.S. Federal Reserve is expected to announce its first interest rate cuts in 4 years on Wednesday. A 25 basis point cut seems more likely outcome 1 month ago, but the odds swung in the last few days to give a 50 basis point cut an outsized chance. And that's what I was saying. A month ago, 90% of the market was calling for a quarter. Right after we got that unemployment rate, numbers that came out to 4.3%, that just blasted up. That's right when the 0.5, the 50 basis point started to come, and it's inevitable almost, right? So trading data from future contracts linked to the policy rate shows a 60% chance that the Feds will cut a policy rate by 0.5 percentage point. The odds for a 50 basis point cut have risen from just 28% 1 week ago to 50% on Monday, and now they're at 65%, right? They're at 65%. So we have, it's moved up a lot. So in an interview with Crypto News, Verman, CEO of the co-founder of the New York-based High Block Capital, said the swing in trader bets for 25 to 50 basis points rate cut implies maximum uncertainty. And this is what I was telling you guys. This is why I'm telling you, expect the volatility coming in tonight, tomorrow. We've seen it today already, right? Because it's just the uncertainty of not even the uncertainty of if they're doing the 25 or the 50 basis point. It's really the uncertainty of how are the markets going to react if the Feds do a 50 basis point, right? What if the Feds are, behind scenes and they're freaking scrambling right now because the numbers are actually a lot higher than we've seen? And what if they come and do a 0.75 basis point hit, right? That is going to be, I think it's going to just throw the markets completely off guard. And, that could be something where we see the markets, short term just go crazy down, in my opinion, right? Short term. I think after a week, after, it kind of sets in, then we start running right back up fast. But something like that, just the uncertainty and something where if we see the Feds do something crazy where it's like higher than even a 0.5, that could scare a lot of investors. Like I said, the recession fears is really what it is. And this right here says it, and I quote from this guy, the CEO. He says a 50 basis point cut might trigger short-term bearish sentiment, as it could signal the Feds acting aggressively to stave off a recession. What'd I just say? On the other hand, a 25 basis point rate could be seen as more neutral and might be interpreted as bullish for risk assets like crypto. And this is pretty much that sums it all up right there, is that what we as investors, if you want to see this market go up, I think the best move on our end would be going up a quarter basis point or 25 basis points for the next three meetings. That would be probably the most bullish outcome, right? What do I think is going to happen is most likely they're going to do a 0.5 tomorrow. We're going to see an initial run, right? We're probably going to see maybe an initial run. Maybe we don't even get that initial run and we just start seeing some downward movement, right? But I think after the dust settles, maybe later tomorrow, maybe the following day, but towards probably around at least by the end of this week, wherever we end up coming down to, right? If it's just a quick little drop, maybe it's not too much, but what if it's a big drop, right? And we drop down to maybe 50, around 55,000. Maybe we come back and retest, where our last bottom was at around 52.5, somewhere around there. Regardless, I think that after the smoke is cleared, by this end of this week, I think that we're probably going to see a nice V-shaped recovery, because things are going to set in that interest rates have been reduced, right? And at the end of the day, that is very bullish for the markets. I just think that the initial news is going to be a little bit more of a scare, to a lot of the bigger market makers, and with anticipation that we could be on the brink of some kind of a recession, or the Feds are trying to really prevent us from, we're right there at the edge, tipping over into that recession spot. So in August, Fed Jerome Powell said the time has come to cut rates, stating that he does not wish to see any additional cooling in the labor market. That's what scared everybody, right? The Fed is under pressure to cut rates by a bigger margin after the latest unemployment report showed the U.S. economy added 142 jobs in August, lower than analysts' forecasts of 163,000 jobs. The jobless rate slowed to 4.2% from 4.3% in July, in line with predictions per data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Verna said the uncertainty in the Fed policy is compounded by technical factors in the crypto market. He noted that when the number of retail accounts expecting Bitcoin prices to go up falls below 45%, it can be bearish indicators, as retail participation often increases at that point. According to the Hype Block Capital CEO, there are two key price levels where a lot of Bitcoin buying and selling is expected to occur as the Fed prepares to cut interest rates. So let's see what they're saying. So there is liquidity for the 61,003, 61,004. So let's pull that on the chart. So 61,003, 61,000, what is it, 1? What the hell did he say? 61,003. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. That's pretty much where we're at as of right now. He said, but the 56,009 to 57,003 zone is building liquidity faster and contains a larger amount. Okay. So he's saying that, you know, most likely what he's expecting is that if we do see some downward movement, that somewhere around that 56.9, 57.3 area is most likely where a lot of people are probably going to be setting up their options or their leverage trading in regards to some kind of a bottom around there. And you can see we actually have 56.7 right here as a big spot for some support. So that could be on point there. So if Bitcoin prices rises to 61.3 or 61.4 area, Vernon said, sweep that liquidity and we see retail long percentages fall below 45%. This could be signal an opportunity for short trade. The trading activity building below the range could offer a decent spot to take profits. So let me see, when did this article drop? It dropped today, right? At 19. What the hell is EDT time? I wonder what time that is. The reason why I'm asking is because if they dropped this article like hours ago, we literally came up and hit our head at 61,004, right? And that's what this guy was calling profit taken at around 61,004. So that's a little bit crazy that he was able to not crazy he was able to predict that. I'm sure it's all over the charts, but that's literally what we've seen. So, and let's see here, as of writing, the price of Bitcoin is trading at around 59,000. So this must have been a lot earlier. For Mason Japa, CEO and founder of the US-based Bitcoin miner BlockWire, the medium to long-term outlook for cryptocurrency remains bullish as lower interest rates tend to support risk on assets like Bitcoin. So that's pretty much what I was saying, guys, right? So even regardless of what we see tomorrow, if we see a more aggressive Fed tomorrow, yes, we will probably see some downward movement, but I think it's going to be short term. Long term, we still have one more big move ahead of us for the whole crypto space, right? I 100% truly believe that. Whether we're going to see, whether this is our beginning of the leg up to get to those spots, or if we're going to see more downward movement, but it's going to be short term, because long term we have more to conquer in regards to Bitcoin and the crypto space. We still have DeFi season ahead of us. We still have altcoin season ahead of us. We still have all that going. So Old said, I'll find it sometime tonight. What are you talking about, bro? Both of his sons and him were talking. Oh, you're talking about Gino was talking about with Trump. Michael said, can you check out, what is that, Mootering on Solana? Yeah, we'll pull that up. Looks good. Came out about a week ago. Definitely on a nice little run. So a project like this, looks great. Obviously, market cap around $14 million. Liquidity pretty much locked in. You have almost $500,000 in liquidity, so it looks great. Volume looks excellent. Obviously, $6.5 million for volume. This right here, this project is basically it's still running on those beginner gains, right? We always talk about this where a project will drop, and a lot of times, they'll some will get more than others, but a lot of them will have that initial run, right? Especially when you drop on Solana, and that's what you're seeing for this project. You're seeing a beautiful run towards the upside. Where's the top? Obviously, we don't know as of right now, but what I always say is that as long as this stays above this 236 fib right here, so as you're running, this can run back and retrace, but as long as it stays above around that 1.2 cent mark, it could drop down to the 382 and still run up and still be very bullish, but the 382 is going to be the line in the sand. You can see that it has come down one time and bounced off of there and actually ran up and made all-time highs, right? So what I can say is that if it stays above the 236 at around that 1.2 cents, this thing is going to continue to make new highs, right? If it does break below, you might have another chance for it to bounce somewhere around this 382, but that's going to be the line in the sand if it breaks below the 382. Not saying this project's done or it's going to be going to zero or anything like that, but you might see, some cool off, aka people taking profits, everybody that's been buying in right here. So the project doesn't look bad. Definitely on those beginner gains right now. If you're already in on it, ride it. No diddy on that one, but you might, you probably could see some more gains with this. Now, if you're on the side right now and you're looking to jump in on this project, not financial advice, but, I'd be just a little cautious. Not saying that this thing can't easily, like I said, stay bullish and make new highs. You're buying in on a project that's up over 100% right now. So you have to keep that in mind, when buying in. You could easily be buying in at the top, well, a lot of people sell off and you're left holding this bag. So Ayaz, how do you pronounce that? Ayaz says GRT $20, Jasmy to $9. Woof. $9 Jasmy, bro. A $9 Jasmy. Whew. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying, whew. A $9 Jasmy? I don't know if that's physically possible. No, it is. So right now, with Jasmy being around 2 cents, we'll say it's at $1 billion. In order for Jasmy to get to $9, Jasmy to get to $1 would need to get to $50 billion market cap, 50 billion. So Jasmy to get up, to $9, you're talking about $450 billion market cap. Now, I don't want to be the one to tell you. I don't want to be the one to tell you, but $450 billion market cap, it can happen, right? But it's only happened to 2 projects so far in crypto, and one's Bitcoin and the other one's Ethereum, right? So, not saying it can't happen, right? Because anything can happen with crypto. That's why we're all here. So I hope it does happen though. And I'm not even in on Jasmy. Old came through and said, guys, listen. Jasmy looks great, but what about Kaspa? What about Kaspa? Kaspa looking, bro. Old, get out of here, bro. Are you kidding me? Kaspa's still freaking holding above the 236, dude. This thing is unstoppable. Unfriggin' stoppable. That's crazy. Look at this chart, guys. I mean, listen, disclaimer, I don't own any Kaspa, but I'm freaking pissed that I don't, right? I really am pissed. This thing is still holding above the 236, bro. Just imagine just imagine when Bitcoin gets up to 100K. Kaspa is most likely going to be well past $1, most likely. well past $1, dude. I don't want to throw crazy numbers out there, but you could be talking about $1.50, $2, maybe even more. This thing is freaking just absolutely ripping. Michael said he got out at the top. He's talking about this project. Nice. Well, shit, Michael, if you're looking a good spot to maybe not financial advice, but if you're trying to jump back in, because maybe this ride isn't over with, I would be looking at the 382. That's the 97, so right under a penny. The 97 or below might be maybe a good spot to jump in and see a second bounce, possibly, right? But if you've already jumped out, you made some money. Usually, what I do is I just keep it moving, right? Unless I'm long-term bullish on the project. If I'm long-term bullish on the project, then I'm like looking to get back in, right? Make my money, right? But now I'm looking to get back in at a really good position and hold long-term. So, what's going on, brother? Ricky said, when I heard of Kaspa, it was at .002, and I never bought in. I know, bro. When I stumbled across Kaspa, I tell you guys all the time, Kaspa had just dropped, and I was looking into buying some rigs, and I was like, I was like, you know what? I'm literally was looking at Kaspa. It was like under a penny, and I was like, that was the reason why I didn't want to mine it. I was like, it's too freaking cheap, like as far as like the rewards you were getting at the time versus how much the price was. I was like, bro, my ROI is going to take forever. I wasn't thinking that Kaspa was going to run up hundreds of % in the next year, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Ricky said it hurts. Make sure you put no Diddy behind that, bro. Yer said, what am I sipping? I'm not sipping anything, bro. Oh, I got water. Water. Nothing crazy, dude. Just sipping on some water. Flip, you in the house, bro? Turbo's looking good today. Turbo's actually looking fantastic. All right, Bullish. Take it easy, brother, man. I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Turbo's still holding those gains from yesterday, Flip. If you're still here, Flip. Yeah, it got listed on Binance. We found out yesterday on the stream. Someone dropped it on us. Art, what's going on? That's my my Orty bro. That's my Orty bro right there. What's going on, bro? Yer said making gains on Turbo. Hope Milady starts to pump soon. Hell yeah, same here, dude. We need to get on that. We need to get on that Binance. Is what it seems to be. Because Binance seems. I mean, yesterday Turbo was up like 20%. Now it's up another 26%. This thing is absolutely ripping. We need Milady to get on Binance, and we need Myro to get on Binance as well. I need Myro to run to $1. I saw that, Art. What was that, Brodial? I don't know, bro. Orty bros. So with Turbo, like I said, Binance, that Binance drop, Awesome, right? Fantastic, but that's not the all, right? That's not going to be like the CO deal. All right, Turbo's running up to, $100 billion market cap. It's not going to be all. Right now, it is definitely running off of that. It's going to be running up to some big spots. Obviously, it needs to break this trend right here, right? Where it's pretty much getting close to. The trend, if it was to continue with this candle that we have right now, would be somewhere around the 56, right? The 56 area. Right now it's at 54. So it's not far from breaking above this trend. It needs to break above the trend, and then we're going to start talking about breaking above some of these fib retracements like the 382 and the dreaded 236 for Turbo. So, but like I always say, any kind of project that gets dropped on Binance, now you have the most exposure across all the crypto world, right? Because obviously Binance is the #1 central exchange per user, right? So now you have millions of people that possibly didn't know about your project or didn't know how to trade via swaps on DeFi. Now can just buy in on Turbo particularly. And let me pull up what's Turbo's volume right now. Let's go back over here and see. Yeah, so the volume is technically down from yesterday because volume yesterday was up like insane when it first dropped. You can see it is down about 2%, but it's still pretty high for a project that has $350 million market cap. The volume is literally 50% at 174, almost $175 million. So that's very, very good. Usually you'll see projects with like a 5 to 10% volume per its market cap. With this obviously running off the Binance news, you can see it's at 50% volume coming in versus its market cap. So that's still a very big sign that there's a lot of people obviously coming into Turbo because we're not seeing any big moves towards the downside as of now. So Ricky said, do some of your spectacular TA, bro. Get us some good buy zones. For what? Turbo particularly? For Turbo particularly, and this is just my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. If you were to ask me like right now, like would you buy into Turbo right now? I would probably say no. I wouldn't, right? And the reason is because obviously Turbo's been on such a massive run on the last 2 days, right? So the last thing I want to do is buy in. Same thing like we were talking about on that other project that we were looking at for the DeFi. It was up 110%. Turbo's up. If you really think about it, before the listing as of yesterday, Turbo's up about 50%. So nothing crazy, but you have to always keep that in consideration that you're buying in on a project that's 50% higher than it was just 24, 36 hours ago, right? So with that being said, I kind of told you guys what we're going to see as far as resistance, right? This trend line is probably going to be some big resistance just breaking above, around this 56. And then, like I said, you're going to have that 382 fib retracement at around the 61. And then obviously the 236 at the 75 area is going to be big spots for resistance, right? As far as support, what I would like to see, and let's zoom in a little bit before I even say anything. So what I would like to see for Turbo is maybe a retracement just back down to this 49.5, somewhere around there. This is going to be, I believe, the 0.5. Yeah, the 0.5 fib retracement. That would be a big spot. If it can bounce off of that, find that support, that you will probably see us, Turbo, right? I'm not in Turbo, but I would say us, like us as a community, right? You'll see Turbo probably start going up for a nice bounce if we can find that support around this 0.5 area. Again, like I said, I do think Turbo is going to continue to move, but I personally would not buy in right now with anticipation that if I do want to buy in on Turbo, I would maybe wait for some kind of a small retracement. And I think the 0.5 would probably be your best bet for some good retracements, a good spot to maybe accumulate anything at that 0.5 or below. Obviously, the 618 was a good spot, but I don't think as of right now, Turbo is going to be bouncing back down towards the 618. Now, let's say tomorrow, just like we were anticipating, the markets might, have some fluctuations and maybe we see some downward movement briefly for Bitcoin. That could maybe give you your ticket to maybe jump in on Turbo at below this 0.5 area, maybe somewhere around the 618. maybe, right? If the markets, for whatever reason are having a big retracement tomorrow with, with the FOMC meeting and whatever news we're going to be getting, right? So Art said, don't ever chase. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. You'll always have the opportunity to get in on any of these projects. It just takes patience, right? Don't think, oh man, I miss out on Turbo, I'm just going to buy in, because I'm telling you, you're going to end up getting stuck holding this bag, right? So if this is a project that you're like, I need Turbo, I need it, right? Then I would say just have patience. Let this cool off. It just got listed on Binance yesterday, right? Let it cool off. What have we seen on a lot of these projects, right? A lot of these projects that go from like DeFi over to the mainstream, they have parabolic runs, right? Some of them run 50%, like we're seeing right now. Some of them run hundreds of percent, right? But what do they all have in common? Is they all end up retracing back. Maybe not back down to where they were before they were on that central exchange, but damn it, they do retrace and they come back down to some of these levels, and it could give you an opportunity to jump back in, at some of these areas. So there's Flip. Flip said, when Bitcoin moves in, Turbo will fly. Turbo is flying, but yeah, I agree with you. Right when we see Bitcoin the markets just start running like crazy, especially if Turbo can hold these gains right now, you're going to see some big movement in Turbo breaking above some of these resistance levels that we were talking about, maybe even talking about all-time highs running up on Turbo. So completely agree. Ricky said, if you bring that trend line to the candle body, we broke out and retesting. What? Hold on a second. You said if you bring that trend line to the candle body, we broke out and are retesting. Let's see. But I mean, we're at the top. What you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about? Like something like this? Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. So what Ricky was saying was that he's saying my trend was basically on the candle wicks, right? Remember, we're looking at on TradingView, we're looking at candlesticks, right? Is what they pretty much call them as far as how these charts are coming out. Well, you have the candlestick and then you'll have a candle wick, right? And usually the candle wick usually means a fast movement, whether it's up or towards the downside. You'll have a fast move. So he's saying move the trend down to where the candle stick is topped out at, right? And not the candle wick. And you'll see that Turbo actually did break the trend, and it looks like it's finding some support on the trend line. So today we'll run with what Ricky's saying, right? Because it does look like it possibly is happening. So good eye, Ricky. Troy said tomorrow's Wednesday's everything going down again. Tomorrow's Wednesday, everything's going down again. Flip said Phantom is next and he's about to crush a zombie dust. He's had a long day. Oh yeah, bro. I don't have any more IPAs, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. Sometimes I take a few days off of just drinking some beer and stuff like that. Set myself up for the weekend, right? For our weekend streams. And if you guys are new here, make sure you guys slap those likes. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. We're here every day, evening time. Weekends, we do earlier streams, and obviously we do have our members only streams as well. Think about joining. Only $5 to join the members only stream, and it helps the channel out, obviously, with that support. So check that out. So going back to our poll, FOMC meeting, we going up or we going down? So we have about 23 votes as of now, and it looks like 57% are calling for upward movement, and we have 43% still kind of around where we left off maybe 20-30 minutes ago. 43% calling for some kind of or calling for downward movement for tomorrow. So I'm right there with you guys. If you were to ask me, what do I think tomorrow? That poll literally sums it up right there. I'm like a little bit more towards, I think we're going to most likely move towards the upside, but I'm also, that 43% is like, we might, maybe we see a quick burst to the upside, but maybe we see some downward, or we see a big downward move short term, given what we're going to hear from Jerome Powell tomorrow, or how aggressive the Feds are actually going to be tomorrow. So, oh yeah, and Troy said if you're new, grab some NFK. It's on sale today, and he is not lying. It is on sale today. Ricky said Phantom is going to rip like there's no tomorrow. All right, we'll pull up Phantom, guys. I think, wasn't Phantom up when we looked at the crypto bubbles? Yeah, Phantom's up 12%. Starting to think that Flip has like a crystal ball, guys, is what I'm starting to think, because he comes in, he'll throw super chats and he's like, yo, check this project out. And then like a week later, the project's like freaking like up hundreds of percent. I'm like, the hell? What's going on here, bro? You a time traveler? What's going on there, Flip? Phantom, yeah, Phantom's on a nice run today. It is up. You can see from the bubbles, it says that Phantom's up about 13%. You can see obviously a nice run. Bounced off our support line. Broke the trend, right? It broke the trend, came back, pretty much got some support somewhere around the 786. And you can see as of late, as of today, it did break above the 618 around that 57.5 area. And you can see it is actually coming right now and is retracing, trying to find some support on the 618. Let's zoom in on the 30-minute. You can see, look at that. Look at those candles. Trying to find that support on the 618. That's a good move right there. Obviously, the white line being the 50-day and the, we don't even see the green line on here. What's this? Oh, okay, I have it. I'm like, why is white and red? I guess it changes colors. Let me see here. All right, so you can see obviously the 50 and the 200-day just pointing to the sky, running parallel to the 50-day right now. So you can see obviously very bullish on Phantom right now. Definitely on a nice run. Yours said, what are your thoughts on Floki? You know what, man? We don't talk a lot about Floki around here, bro. It's just not that no one. I haven't heard anybody, like negative talking Floki. We just haven't really brought it up. You can see I don't even think I have a fib retracement on Floki. Let me see. Oh, I do. Well, that sums it up. You can see it's been that long since we've looked at Floki. Because I do remember Floki was running. Floki was running, like obviously towards the beginning of the year when everything else was running. It actually caught me by surprise. Because if you asked me like last year about Floki, I'd be like, bro, Floki's washed up. I don't think Floki's going to have a chance to do anything. And I mean, look at this freaking, this was back in February and March when we kind of ran the whole market. Floki absolutely ripped. And I believe it actually made all-time highs this year. If you would have asked me if that was going to do that, I swear I probably would have, being honest, I would have said, no, Floki's not done, but it isn't making all-time highs. And this thing absolutely ripped, right? So that gives me a little bit more bullishness on Floki, because I remember when Floki dropped back in like 2021, it was kind of a quick pump, and I ain't going to say dump, but you can see how the charts look, right? Nice pump, and then it just dropped to the abyss and sat there for so long, right? And then out of nowhere, this thing just woke up and went crazy. Obviously, it is on a downward move for right now. We're looking at the daily, but it's holding its gains, right? It's holding its gains for now. So what I would say, our market cap, let's see. Yeah, $1.1 billion. That's bro, you can't sleep on that. Over $1 billion market cap, it's still holding. I think Floki's going to do fairly well during this next leg up. I really do. Is it going to break all-time highs? I hope it does, right? You're going to have some big spots for some resistance. The 618 as of right now is going to be your first fight. That 618 at around the 13.6. And then after that, obviously, you're going to have, some other spots, particularly looking at the 382 at around the 21 being a big spot that it hit its head multiple times during these runs. So, but I think Floki, honestly, bro, came out and shocked a lot of people, and I think it's here to stay for at least for a while, at least for this next run. Gina said she's buying some NFK tonight, not Wednesday. All right. Ricky said, I'm very excited about Phantom. I hoarded the crap out of it at 19 cents. Yer said, I bought some on September. He's talking about Floki and 10x his profits. Nice, bro. That's a solid move right there. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, Floki came out of nowhere. It really did. It really did. Yeah, this was one of those projects, and this, this brings me to what's the other one? Dog Elon. Like, no one talks about it, right? And it's kind of the same thing with Floki, right? Where right now, if you ask me, is Dog Elon gonna go to all-time highs? Right now, I'd say hell no, it's not going to. But that's the same thing, kind of same analogy. If you had asked me a year ago about Floki, you'd be like, hell no, it's not. This is another project that people sleep on, right? That has I don't know about now, but it did have a pretty decent size community that are basically probably still holding on, just waiting to see if this project ever has some kind of traction. Flip said he bought Floki. Of course he bought Floki 2 years ago. What? Is there anything that you don't have, Flip? Is there anything that you don't have, bro? I'm just messing with you, man. Just looking at the market cap for Dog Elon. Around that $70 million mark. So fairly low. This is going to be a project, I'm telling you guys. I hope I can come back. I don't own any of this, right? I owned this back in 2021 and made some decent money, nothing too crazy. But this is going to be one of those projects that people just sleep on, and then watch, this thing's going to freaking explode out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere, it's going to freaking at least have one more big run, is what I think. Flip said I have all the dinos. You bought all those old school projects, still holding them. That's what I'm saying. Like Flip said, I forgot I had it until I blasted off a few months ago. That's what I'm getting to, is like everybody kind of wrote Floki off because it was like a meme coin from 2021. That's still around, but you're like, eh. And this is the same thing for this project, right? I'm sure some people are holding on to this that forgot to even have this still in their wallets because they're probably down like crazy, and they're just like, I'm not selling. It's pretty much down like crazy. I'm just gonna leave it be, and maybe one day it'll do something. Amor said, I made it. I have to rewatch from the beginning later. It's all good, brother. Check out the beginning because we were talking about the FOMC meeting coming tomorrow and pretty much what to expect for the FOMC meeting tomorrow. And like I said, we won't be live streaming the meeting tomorrow particularly, right? We're not going to be live streaming the meeting tomorrow, but we will be coming after the fact and having our normal stream. So make sure you guys, I already know most of you guys are. I've said this the last few days, but I'm just, shout out to all you guys, honestly. Can I just say thank you guys, honestly, to 90% of you guys, because 90% of the people that watch my videos, right, are freaking subscribed. 90%. Go to other YouTubers, and I swear, I don't know if it's because maybe they have, hundreds of thousands of people, and we're a little bit more close-knit, but 90% of my viewers are subscribed. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. I really do appreciate that. That has to be well above average, So I do appreciate that, guys, so much. Amor said, I got my funds ready to deploy if we see a huge Mog crash. Let's pull up Mog real quick and see. My boy is waiting for some kind of a move towards the downside for Mog. Let's see here. Mog broke below a support level, though. I will tell you that. It is actually, it's right above it. Excuse me. It is right above. Right now at that 94. You can see our support level is at the 93.4. You can see you're at the 94.4. So, You did break below. You're kind of retesting that area as of now. What is the market cap for Mog? $340 million. So Mog is still holding some solid gains. You can see this is the yearly chart right here, and it's still holding some solid gains, right? Looking at this chart, it looks like that 44 level is probably a decent spot for some support. I'm sorry. Yeah, look at that. I have the 44. Isn't that crazy? I looked at it the other chart, like at 44, and you can see that's the next spot for some support. If Mog drops down to this 44 area more, bro, I'm picking up. I'm going to become a whale. I'll tell you that right now, of some Mog. Old said, I look forward to your videos, Crip. Sometimes I am unable to watch, especially if I'm out. No worries, bro. I appreciate you being here whenever you can and supporting the channel, bro. I really do. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. Shedding a tear for you guys. You know somebody's like, bro, you're so cheesy. My bad, bro. I love all my people. I really do. I appreciate you guys. I love what I do, and I appreciate you being here every day, right? Supporting the channel and stuff like that. And we're only going to keep going. We're going to keep going up from here. Keep going up. Let's see here. So that's pretty much it, guys. So tomorrow, I know we didn't really check out Twitter Spaces. Let's see here. Crypto saying the last Bitcoin breakout is imminent. So he's basically saying, you can see this is all the way back from, this is the full chart of Bitcoin. You can see pretty much similarities. Are we in for another breakout? Possibly, guys. Possibly. And we've been going through all these little Twitter charts and stuff like that, you know, trying to stay bullish because, like I told you guys, I still do believe we have a big run ahead of us. Right? So with that being said, for myself, I just keep, you know, accumulating on whatever I am bullish on, right? I'm kind of pushing the noise to the side. Whenever we see big dips, take advantage of it. Other than that, patience. And let it all play out, right? That's the only thing that we can do. You know, and obviously we'll be here every day, and I'll be sitting here sounding that alarm like, we are getting close to the top. I think we're getting close to the top, guys. Bitcoin's dominance has dropped. Altcoin season is in effect, right? I'll be here sounding the alarm, but remember, I can't force you to do anything. So, because at the time when I'm sounding that alarm, that greed is going to be kicking in, right? You're going to be looking at your portfolio. It's going to be in the green. You're up thousands of dollars. And you're going to be like, Crip, sorry, buddy, but you can't tell me, bro. I'm going to keep making this. I'm going to keep running with this, right? I'm going to be like, sounding the alarm. We're close to the top. We could be at the top. You know, obviously, I can't tell you guys to take profits or anything like that, but I can tell you when I'm, you know, exiting the market like I did a few months ago. I have to keep saying that. You know, I did tell everybody that I was selling off on majority of my portfolio back a few months ago, right? And this is why, you know, I had the dry powder to accumulate when we seen these big drops towards the downside. And I will be very transparent again when we're back up and running in those areas, right? I will be almost the same thing. I'm going to tell you guys when I am going to be thinking about selling, right? If I do it live, whatever the case is, or I do it after the fact, tell you guys, hey, I just sold my position in this for today, and this is the reason why, right? But you obviously have to come to your conclusion on yourself and do whatever you feel is best for yourself. But what I always keep telling you guys is don't let the greed take over. Whenever you're up like crazy, take profits because you're always going to get opportunity to, you know, pick up more. Again, you might have to have patience and wait, but you're always going to get opportunity to make more money in crypto. That's like the pleasures of being in crypto, right? And it's just fun. So Ricky said Crypto is a cool dude. I never miss it. What is that? I never miss his videos. I like how energetic he is. He's like, guys, coming from you from Dubai. He's like, look, I have a $300 million trade. I'm not getting out. Let me show you why we're going up. He does like his little like 5-minute videos on his iPhone. Shout out to Crypto. Art said, am I going to stream the FOMC meeting? I am not going to be streaming the FOMC meeting tomorrow, brother. Like I said, I'm going to be probably out and about on the road. I would love to stream it, but I won't be able to do it tomorrow. If you're wondering what time is the FOMC meeting, it is tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, right? So if you're in a different time zone, you need to see what that is for your time zone. But 2:30 Eastern Standard Time is when the FOMC meeting is tomorrow. And then, like I said, we will have a stream maybe a few hours after that, following, you know, everything that we get from the FOMC meeting. So, but guys, listen, with that being said, let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments real quick. Man, I want to break out so bad. All right, I gotcha. All right, guys. Well, listen, you guys have a fantastic night. I really do appreciate you guys being here today. Keep your heads up. I think we're going to be good. Expect volatility tonight, going into tomorrow before the meeting. Up and down, up and down. It'd be nice to see us start running with anticipation of that meeting, but anything is possible. Leverage trading, staying the hell away from it for right now, at least for the next 24 hours. And we're going to let this FOMC meeting play itself out. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Be safe out there. If you need me, if you are in the Discord, hit me up. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you're watching this after the fact, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell, hit everything you can across the whole damn page so you're good to go for tomorrow after the FOMC.